What's up, YouTube fam? It's Dark Angel's Journey. I'm Shakira. So, it is Wednesday, March 18th, FOMC Day. Yay! So, first things first, as always, we got to check the news as we prep for the day. I don't know if I'm going to actually end up trading today since it is FOMC. The mornings can be a bit lackluster sometimes. And then, if you're going to trade the PM, you're going to have to trade after 2:30. And seeing that I'm trying to mainly trade the AM sessions only, probably not going to catch anything. So I'm happy to try something this morning as long as it's super clear and obvious and has a clear target. All right. So there's news coming out at 8:30, core PPI. And then nothing until FOMC at 2. So let's take a look at where we are. So I'm really salty because I was trying to go long for them to take this high out yesterday, and they did not want to do it on yesterday's candle, but they did do it overnight on this one. So yay. So for the trades I've taken this week, it's been 3 losses and 1 win. So I am in about $110 in the negative for the week. But that's all right. I'm in the negative because I made choices that I was waiting for them to break past this daily fair value gap, and they didn't, and I waited too long, so I ended up taking the loss. But that's trading for you. All right, well, so this candle, obviously, it opened here, ran up, took out the high that I was interested in. So high time frame stuff's already sorted out. So what's left? And it looks like it's rejecting really hard. If we break under here, shorts are most definitely in the crosshairs. Things I'm going to be looking for. The extreme of the daily candle is not a bad place. I'm just going to like make a duplicate of this guy and commandeer it and just plop that there. And I'm just going to call that daily extreme as a target for lows. All right, let's dip into the 4-hour. Oof. That 4-hour candle is going to close at 10, and it is a doozy. We do have equal highs up here for a later time frame of juiciness to consider, but with that rejection, I don't know. I'd need to see something seriously. I don't know, some retracement back maybe into the 4-hour order block, but that's pretty far, so I don't know. It would be quite a move. We also have this daily fair value gap that we've busted up above. Now we have this guy over here that we could potentially use as inversion, but I'm gonna keep the daily one for now. So right now the 4-hour still looking pretty bullish, though this 4-hour candle is coming in real hot on the bearishness. So again, it's FOMC, so there's no rush to actually like try and take a trade this morning. But things to note on candles that I like look at this one, like very bullish, no wicks. We're obviously going up. Beautiful. You find that when they have wicks, then, you know, things tend to get a little bit less obvious, but pretty clear. Especially if the wicks are on the bottom. I don't mind that little manipulation push. Let's see how that 4-hour closes. Let's look at the 1-hour. It's looking pretty bearish as well. Of course, that's 3 of the 4 hours of the candle, the 4-hour candle that's forming. So we'll see how we do once we get to this area of consolidation. They might chill here if they bust past it. Well, that daily extreme and this fair value gap is most definitely an area of interest. I'm going to note it only because I want to know where my take profit areas are. Also, if they take, just note that. Also, if they take these lows out and then sweep back up, I would be open to a long, though, let's be honest, they took all of that during London and then just consolidated and then dropped. So not exciting. So I'm going to note internal low here. So some internal sell side liquidity right there. And of course, we have the more interesting low down this way. And as always, midpoint of fair value gaps are super important as well. So I'm just going to 1 hour sell side liquidity right there. Boom, boom. That's looking pretty. That's pretty bearish as we head into the news area. So, uh, since we do have a wick, and this one's a bit larger than that one, I will note it. Mainly just to see how they behave around it. Oops, what happens? Go in here. But that looks really, really bearish. Let's get that wick going. Because I've been burned with wicks, like not pushing past the 50%. It's kind of like a fair value gap, You can treat it as such. So I'm going to do that. Drop that there. And then let's remove this. And we're just going to say 0.5 wick, 1 hour. And let's make that red as well. All right. Those are my areas of interest. The daily extreme inside of this fair value gap. We've got beautiful propulsion blocks here for continuation up. I mean, overall, if we look at the daily, the 50-minute is very bearish. But yeah, if we look at the daily, like we're trying to push up. We absolutely took out all these lows beautifully, and then we turned around aggressively. So ultimately, I'm still pretty bullish. Just need to see where they're going. And to the bullish end, let me zoom in here and let me just note those equal highs of juiciness up top here. Yes, I said, look at that daily candle. Now, don't be fooled, right? Like these candles, they will absolutely mess with you. They are forming. They are not done. You know what I'm saying? So don't be fooled. Don't be fooled by them. So that previous day high has already been taken. So the next one I'm interested in is that one, the extreme of the top there as well. I'm going to duplicate that and the extreme of it right there. And I'm just going to make that blue. So I know it's bullish. Of course, the wick, but not this wick, but that wick. That one's above it. But I'm not going to worry about that for the time being until we actually start moving in that direction. I don't want to have too many lines on here. Anyway, for now, it is a wash for the moment. We've taken out some tons of liquidity that we need to come back down. We do have this daily order block and the wick that they're tapping into right now. So we'll see how they behave around it. Any nice aggressive move back up after taking out some of this liquidity, I'd be interested in longs. All right, y'all. That's my thoughts for today. But like I said, it's FOMC, so there's literally no need to really force any trades today. It can be pretty volatile. So we'll see how it goes. Be good, be safe. Shakira out.